Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel and welcome to Project 23 with Borussia Dortmund. As always, thanks for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, go and check out my other content after this. And if you really want to help the channel out, you can always become a patron. Links to that down below in the description along with a few other things. Now, what is Project 23? Well, it was initially started as my first personal save of the year. I don't really have many because I'm always playing content to make for YouTube, and I wanted to do this for a while, and I started doing it a little bit here, a little bit there over a few days. And as always, when you're a YouTuber, you start thinking this is boring on my own. I want to share it. Maybe people will watch it, maybe people might be interested in what I'm up to. So this might just be a mini series. We'll do a couple of seasons, but it was just a bit of fun for me that I'm now going to bring to YouTube, and it's come from a few things. One was when I did my Wonderkid Wanderers video. I started to realise how many good young players are out there. If you go on popular websites online and look at Wonderkid lists, obviously they're not all Wonderkids, but you can drop down into the top 10, top 15, and there's still tons of players there. Also, my Sheffield Wednesday rebuilds, the longest save I've had so far this year. And once I started getting into that as well, I'm realising how much transfers I think have changed on this game compared to others. A bit more realistic. You can really go out there and get some good deals, good young players, and have a lot of fun. And if you're a long time subscriber of mine, you'll know I do like putting together young teams. You have a lot of success with young teams. So I put all that together for myself and thought, I'll have a bit of fun here. And when I did do the Wonderkid Wanderers video, I realised 3 of the best players are at Dortmund. So I thought, let's go Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to sell every single player that's over 23. And I'm taking a risk because I'm going to piss off people that are staying. They'll be like, what are you doing? This is crazy. Get as much money as I can and then have a bit of fun and go and spend it. And that's exactly what I did this first season. But am I going to balls up? Is it going to be a total disaster? Will I be able to find any players? Well, we're going to find out in season 1 of Project 23 with Dortmund. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So we'll start right here at the very beginning of the game. Obviously I'm now the manager of the BVB, or the black and yellow as I like to call them. I do like a black and yellow kit. You might remember that from my Denton Villa days. If you've never seen me Denton Villa series a couple of years ago, you missed out. Love that series. Now this is a great club, and to be honest though, you do look at it as like the second team in Germany. I do. It's a team that's still got a great history. They've got Champions League, 8 Bundesligas, 5 Pokals, my favourite trophy of all time. I love that trophy. If you did a list of favourite trophies, that would be number 1 on mine. But it's nothing really compared to this of Bayern Munich or Bayern München. Now, my personal target when I started was just to try and topple them by using young players. Because, I've done a few saves now, I've done a few experiments, we're going to the future, and 9 out of 10 times Bayern win the league. It can get a bit boring, but I do love German football. I do love this league. And I've wanted to do something like this for absolutely ages. So this is a squad that you start with, and I've highlighted everyone who's over 23 years old, and I'm going to try and sell everyone. Now, of course, there's a couple I can't. Matt Hummels is injured, so he's going to be stuck down in Bayern 2. I stick them all down in Bayern 2 and sell them on, and don't really have any issue because there's a lot of good players here, to be fair. But I am running that risk of selling all this talent and players that are left, like Haaland, who is like a shiny Rolls Royce I've not had a go of yet at all. I was very excited for that, really, to be fair. Just to have a go of the best young striker in the game. Can't wait for that. And I was going to sell off as many as I could. And I needed to, really, to be fair, because I didn't have any money to spend. I expected I would have, just with the sales of like Sancho and so on. But it looks like they spent that money on a couple of players. One from PSV, one from Stuttgart. So I needed to sell, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to try and sell everyone before I even started to sign anyone. But one thing I've got is a great shortlist that I accumulated from my Wonderkid Wanderers video. Loads of knowledge on those players. And I've used a few websites online that show you the top like 50 freaking players in each position, young players. And you can't go for the top 5. I'm not going to have the money to go to get every superstar. And I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to find players I've never used before, if I could. Maybe a top 10, top 15, top 20 player for the right price, because I was going to have to sign a lot of players. And the pressure is going to be real, because right now, if I kept this squad, we're the second favourites, and you could probably give Bayern a real good run for the money. Would that change? Now, I'm big into staff, but we've got a very good staff as it is, and I didn't want to waste any money sacking staff. I didn't want to waste any money on staff bringing him in. I thought this first year, that's good enough for me. I'm going to keep it as it is and use every penny I can to rebuild my new vision of Project 23. One thing I'm absolutely buzzing with though is I've got Philip Lau. Now, if you're a long-time subber man, you'll know for a good 2 games at FM19, maybe FM20, maybe even a bit of FM21, I always signed him as my assistant. He's not an assistant, he can be, but I always found him to be a fantastic assistant. Plus, he just reminds me of a very good friend in the community of mine called Parkera from New Zealand, who does great content, bit of Football Manager, who does Truck Simulator, Farm Simulator, such a lovely bloke. Every time I see his face, I think of him and I just feel warm inside. Tactically, I'm going with a similar tactic that I've been using, basically, the same tactic on a lot of me previous content, Sheffield Wednesday in particular, but instead of using a defensive midfielder this time, because I've got maybe more attacking players, I was going to go for it this year, just try and score loads of goals, so we're going to be a bit more on the front foot, hopefully, by using an attacking midfielder instead. But I was going to eventually train the other tactic as well and use that towards the end of the season. It's good to have them both. Maybe one's a bit more defensive, even though they're all quite attacking, to be fair. If we do go on to the club's vision, you'll see they do want me to sign players aged 21 and under for the first team. This club's all about that anyway, and I quite like that. Just signing young players for the future. And I'm going to sign a lot, but they're not all going to work out. Some I might be able to sell on in future seasons, make some profit. Some might turn out to be absolute worldies once we get going. Now, what I'm going to do now is start flashing up some screenshots of all the players that I sold, and you'll be able to see at the top how much I got from, and I think I accumulated, because I sold an absolute ton of talent, around £189 million, which is a lot of money. But to be fair, I needed to bring in a good over 10 players, maybe even 15 players. I think I bring in 14. I'm going to have a look through the squad in a minute, and you'd be surprised, honestly, be surprised how far that money will go. And I play the same game as you. When I do show you the players I've brought in, you know, you might see some you quite like, you never heard of, and think, God, that's a reasonable price. And depending on who you are and your reputation, how much money you've got, you'll be able to sign it for that same value, because they're nothing different than what you could do as well. So here we are on Borussia Dortmund 2, and as you can see, I put them all down there and just sold them all on, and I did get 189 million, and I was left with this. Now, to be fair, got a couple of good young players, which is cool, right? And there's a lot of talent in that youth team, to be fair. Young players, I mean, Jude's down there. You got Giovanni Reina, he's a good little talent. Look at that. All young. And a few other little kids I was going to stick in the first team for a bit of experience, just because of their potential ability. But everyone's a bit unhappy right now. And this was the risk. It was a risk. If you look at the odds right now, before I signed anyone, we're currently going to be 5th, apparently. I think we'd be lucky to do that with that bunch of kids. Don't get me wrong, I'm buying more kids, but we really need to flesh it out. So let's look at my new squad. I didn't set myself a rule like once a player becomes 24, I've got to sell him. I'm not doing that. I'll keep him as long as I want. I just can't sign anyone who's over 23. And we'll just see who comes in, who I can get, what I can change. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my main 22 squad as quick as I can, and what you'll see in each profile page, if they've got a Dortmund logo on it, that means we're already here when the game starts. If it says in, it's someone I've signed, and at the top I'm going to put how much I signed them for. Now, we've got a new goalkeeper, although he's already here when the game starts. Gregor Kobel from Switzerland. My backup goalkeeper isn't very good, although he does have a lot of potential, Marian Kirsch. I did sign another goalkeeper, but he's not coming till next year, and that's definitely an area I'm going to need to strengthen going forward. Left back, I signed Riccardo Calafiore, 19-year-old Italian from Roma. I also signed Noah Katterbach from Colm, right? This is schoolboy error. When you're doing stuff like this, you do a lot of clicking, and I agreed to loan him straight back for a season, so he's not coming till next year. We do have Felix, Paslak, who is a cracking young player who can play right and left. And I also brought in Wilfried Singo from Torino, who can cover down the right, which should be pretty helpful. At centre half, we've got Marian Pongra. Marian. Now, he's here on loan. But I really like the look of him, so I put in a bid and we've signed him. So we've got him here on loan, and then he becomes our player next year. We've got Dan Axel, great name, who's already at the club, 22-year-old Frenchman. We've got Andrea Carbone. I love that name. Now, I'm sure I saw him turn into a cracking player on my Wonder Kid Wanderers video, so I've got high hopes for him. Midfield, we've got Giovanni Reina. Can play in the centre, can play behind the striker. Very excited to see what this little American can do. Of course, we've got Jude, who's a cracking player. I'm pretty sure Haaland's got a massive potential ability set in stone. Mikuko, or whatever his name is, the great little player you get here at Dortmund. You'll see him in a bit. He's a -10. I think Jude's a -9 or even maybe a -9.5. I've signed Paulo Bernardo from Benfica. Great club to get players from, especially into the game when it comes to regens. Samuel Ricci, 19-year-old Italian from Empoli. Cracking little player him. Lots and lots and lots of promises, like the new Tonali. We've also got this lad, Rainier, 19-year-old Brazilian on loan from Real Madrid. He looks really good. We'll see how he goes for us. He's worth a ton of money. I don't think he's someone we'll buy, but I was going to keep him. We have Mr. Daniel Malen, who is here when you start. I don't know if he's a Sancho replacement, but he looks like he could be. 22-year-old from Holland. I've signed Noni Madiuk, 19-year-old Englishman from PSV, who looks very good. I've never heard of this kid, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We've got Francisco Conceição, 18-year-old Portuguese lad from Porto. Again, loads and loads of promise. We've got Stefan Tigges, 23-year-old German, who's here when you start. Benjamin Sesko, 18-year-old Slovenian, who I signed, a rangy striker. He looks alright though. Of course, we've got the man I call Mukuku. I love that. Don't know if it's right. It's only 16. Looks about 30. But I know he's a fantastic player. I had him in Brentford beta series. Played him as a right winger, and I'm going to try and do that with this one as well. Because I've got this man up top. Now, he's got 3 years left on his deal, and he will not... All season, I'm trying to get him to do a new one. He's got no minimum fee. This is going to be a big thing, really, going forward. Do I just keep him till his contract runs out and just bleed the stone dry? Or do I cash him at some point? Because he's worth a lot of money, and I know I can sell him on and use that money to keep rebuilding the squad. So as you can tell, it is a bit threadbare in places. But there's a lot of kids in this team, and I was going to give them a chance when I could. Why not? It's a slow process, but that's where the risk factor came in. Could it be good enough to still achieve what Dortmund wanted to achieve and give myself more time to keep fleshing out the squad season after season and keep going forward? So I was really excited. I felt like as long as we got in top 4 and keep the Champions League football coming, we'd be fine, hopefully. And with those additions, we've gone from 5th to 3rd. So we're not where we were originally, but I've got Haaland up top. I was expecting a lot from that lad. But whatever happens, you get good money in Germany, and this is a big club. We're going to get good money as we go forward, especially if I do sell Haaland at the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. I don't know what to do yet. I might just squeeze out another year, wait till he's got a year left and then go for it. I don't know. We'll see how successful we can be. But we've got a decent amount of money here. You might have noticed from some of the transfers, some of them have got add-ons. It's not too much. Some of them are okay. I think we'll be perfectly fine. I've just got to win enough football games. And the board are asking me to win the league, just as long as I get in the Champions League. So I felt okay about that. I am in the Champions League. That's going to be quite excited. We're in the Pokal. I love the Pokal. And of course got Super Cup, because Dortmund won the Pokal last year. Bayern won the league. So I'm going to be kicking off, really. I think it's the second game. There's a chance to win a trophy. So we're going to jump forward a bit further than I normally do in semi-rebuilds, and we've gone to February. But let's look back at what I've achieved. And I can't lie, I was a bit shocked by this. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bayern had way more chances, were way the better team, but Haaland got the lead for us. They managed to get one back, and then Reina nicked me the goal in the 47th minute. So let's watch the goals. And our opener with Haaland is a classic FM moment. Watch this. What the hell was that? Now, he's a cracking little player, Davies. He turns into one at best left backs. But watch this for a comeback. Watch this beautiful... Look at that. But then somehow we got ourselves back into it. Big scrap here. I think Haaland flies over, if I remember rightly. Look at that. He trips over. But Reina knocks it in and we won the cup. Now over to the league. And the bookie said we'd be 3rd. And at this moment in time, 2nd of February, we are 3rd on 37 points. Some distance between us and Bayern. But like I said, I think as long as I get top 4... I'll be in a job and I can start my building programme and get to proper work. Haaland, of course, is the leading goal scorer by a country mile. Lewandowski, who are you? He's also the best player. I mean, we are unstoppable with him going forward. He is an amazing player, and I've been looking forward to having a go with him for absolutely ages. It's defensively we're shaking. I knew we would be. We do let some goals in sometimes. And it's obviously where I really need to improve. There's a lot of areas I need to improve. We need a lot more depth to become a super team. But let's look at our results. And when you initially look at it, it's not like outstanding. We're not super consistent. We've had moments of shitness, to be fair, but we've had some good results. some all right results. We started off brilliantly against Frankfurt, and we got battered off Freiburg. And I mean, look for yourself. But the ones you got to look out for were maybe Leipzig. We beat them 3-1. Haaland with 2, and Bernardo got us 1. And we drew with Bayern at home, which is great. But look at that, 7-0. So let's look at the squad at this point, and I've arranged it by average rating, and we've obviously got some standouts. Haaland, of course, is an absolute beast, and of course, he's wanted by Man City. We'll have to see. I'll have to think about that. I mean, 31. It's insane, isn't it? Rainer's been a great player. Singo's done really well for me, of course. He's a cracking little player. He's played at right back, left back. Been very, very handy. Jude's not done a bad job. I mean, we're a young team, but I was a bit worried because I didn't feel like we were fully fleshed out. But there's a lot of talent here. How well would I really do? And I think I'm happy with how we're doing. If you check the goals, though, I mean, if we lose him, I'm going to need to replace him. And he's a great player I love on this game. Lorenzo Luca is like 6'9", who I think is a big guy and I know can become a fantastic striker. And I am considering maybe, if I do sell him, going for him. You can't sign him at the beginning because he's just signed for Pisa. But you get that first season out of the way and I might be able to pick him up. Let's jump forward now to almost the end of May, so 21st. And we finished runners-up. You play 34 games in this league. There's only 18 teams that do quite like that. And we were miles away from Bayern. And look at Haaland's goals, by the way, best player by far. But I still got a lot of hope for the future when it comes to Bayern Munich. If I reverse the dates and show you the games that we played since you last saw, again, it was a bit sketchy. End of the year wasn't great, although we did beat Bayer Leverkusen 8-2, and we beat Union Berlin 6-2. This game, though, away, was amazing. And I started to change my tactic with this bit. I went back to putting a defensive midfielder in just for the end of the year. And it's kind of worked. I mean, look at that. Some results say we can score goals. Haaland loves to stick the ball in the back of the net. So I'm happy with that. Runners up. Perfect. Top 4. Nice bit of prize money. Champions League next year. Job should be safe. But it wasn't all about the Bundesliga. We were in the Champions League as well, and we didn't do too bad. I mean, the group... We didn't lose. We did only win 2 games, but we got through it. Then I drew PSG and I thought, that's us done. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, beat them 4-0. And then drew them 1-1. Then we came up against the other oil-rich team, drew 1-1 at home and then got beat off City. Fair enough, quarterfinals. That's respectable because we shouldn't be beating them yet, really. We shouldn't really have been beating PSG. I don't know what they were doing. So there's a lot of hope here. I start adding a few more pieces in the summer. This can start to really kick on. The project is starting to take shape. But again, it's not just about the Bundesliga. It's not just about the Champions League, because we've got ourselves to the Pokal final. Now, I pretty much B-teamed a lot of it. B-teamed it, B-teamed it, I B-teamed it. Every now and again a player will sneak in, come off the bench or whatever, and I B-teamed it, and then it was the Bayern game. And I think that was the first game I went with a defensive midfielder, and again, we beat them. Right? Check this out. They might be 20 points ahead of us in the league. Fair enough, they're more consistent when it comes to league football. We weren't consistent, right? We're young. But when we went head-to-head all 4 times, I beat them in the Super Cup. We beat them twice, knocked them out in the Cup in the semi-final, and drew with them in the league. They couldn't beat us this year. And of course, the team we're playing in the Cup final beat us at their place early on in the season, 2-1. But then that happened. Hopefully that happens today. Before we get into the final, though, this is the last look at the squad arranged by average rating. We're looking okay. I'm pretty happy. I think we can win this. And I think I'm going to go for it tactically, play with an attacking midfielder and just try and outscore them, really. Because we can be a bit shaky at the back. And there are times when we just do not turn up. But the best bit about this whole season was the fact that we've got to a cup final. Proper excited for this. We're off to Berlin, to the Olympic Stadion, to play Leverkusen, who, you know, and I'm excited because they beat us. And then we've absolutely tanked him. So which team on which side? Who's going to turn up? Our super team, their best team? We've no idea, but we're going to share it together in a live com. Welcome to Berlin and the Olympic Stadium. Beautiful old stadium. Now, pretty much my best teams out there. Got one issue maybe with my centre-half, Zagadou. He's carrying a bit of a knock. And Rainer's going to be playing as an attacking midfielder because because Rainer is on international duty with America. But yeah, hopefully going to enjoy this. Like I said, I didn't initially intend to put it on YouTube. And I was playing it in little bits and bats. And then good few days ago now, my Wednesday rebuild finished, so I've had days and days to finish the season off. And then I've been sat on it really, because it's going to be Christmas in it, so I'm hoping I can, over the Christmas period, good maybe three-ish days, get the next season played and get the second episode out to you a bit quicker than I normally would. Here we go, Bellingham with the corner. But I've had a lot of fun, and I just thought, why not share it with you? Why not? Because, you know, I've got plans for the game and content after Christmas. And if you want to know all my plans going into 2022, I'm doing a little Christmas special video. Got some special guests coming on, and then I'm going to talk about all my ideas for the future, the series of what I do. I've got some questions for you. I've got a message out there from your patrons who I want you to be involved in a future series. So yeah, excited. Right, here's Len, the guy I didn't sign, but he's not a bad little player, to be fair. He's quite a good player, but I'm so excited to get stuck into the summer, see how much money I can get. Oh, beautiful pass. I've also got Makuku on the bench. Good little player though. He's dead young, isn't he? You forget how young he is, but I do know he can become a good player. And on my Brentford beta, because they had a good striker, I was just using him as a right winger, and he did a fantastic job. And I mean, you could look at him as a ready-made replacement for Haaland, but is he really ready yet? There's some really... Oh, 1-0 down. We were 1-0 down here in the cup final. Brilliant. So my 8-2 Dortmund aren't showing up today. And here's Frimpong now. And don't let him score another one, boys. Jesus, this is scrappy. Come on, lads. Yeah, make sure you check it out. It should be coming out on Christmas Day. Got loads of information in that little video. But yeah, I'd love to win this cup. I love this trophy. Be nice to pick up a trophy the first year. Maybe we can start to show Haaland that this is the team he needs to stay at. Right, we've got one last highlight at the end of the first half. We need to get ourselves back into it. Come on, boys. Oh, there you go. Rainier, is that how you say his name? The little low knee. It's half time. It's pretty even-ish, really. I mean, we need to do something. I might just crack on as I am. I might make some changes. I might even change it tactically at some point. See if we can mix it up a bit. But yeah, let me know what you think. The whole concept of this in the comments. I mean, like I said, it wasn't ever intended to be out. So you never know when you don't actually plan it to be on YouTube if anyone's going to like it. Hopefully you do. Like I said, I'm going to play a few seasons and have a bit of fun over Christmas into the new year. Just try and build a superstar team of youngsters. But like unfashionable ones. I know I've got a couple of ones you might know. But I've got a lot of like maybe unfashionable players. Ooh, they're down to 10 men. They're down to 10 men. Right. I'm going to give boys some encouragement. Why not? Let's see if we can take this. Oh, wait. Bellingham, mate. Right, we've got half an hour to go. I've made some changes. They're not taking effect yet. I'm not going to change it tactically just yet. I want to just keep going at him. Just try and get this goal. We've got it in us. Let's get the ball to Haaland, the big bastard. He'll score as a goal. He should do. I'd be surprised if he didn't score in a cup final. I mean, come on. Pretty much scores in every single game. But yeah, I made some changes. The centre-half at the start I talked about, he's got a knock. He's going to be coming off. And Makuku, he's coming on the right wing. Right, here he is again, the lad. Long ball in it to Haaland. Haaland one-on-one. Very rarely misses. Takes it round the keeper. Oh, he's a great player, isn't he? Right, come on, lads. Hang on. 10 minutes to go. Just 10 minutes. Can they get themselves back into it? I have changed the tactics, but they haven't taken effect. Dropping the attacking midfielder. We're going with a defensive midfielder just to hopefully show it up a little bit at the back. Oh my God. Come on, lads. Jesus Christ. There's Bernardo now charging forward. Can he find that pass? Loads of yellow shirts charging forward. He's going out wide on the right hand side. Pings it into the box. Haaland. The man for the big stage, man for the big moments. Oh, the keeper's long ball. It's Haaland. Brings it down beautifully. Charging forward. Can he get his hat-trick? He does. Hat-trick. 57th goal of the season. Cup final hero. Beautiful, mate. Well, do you know what? I'll take that for my first year. We've managed top four. We've run us up even though we were miles off Bayern. Played Bayern 4 times. Didn't get beat. With a squad that's, you know, threadbare in a lot of areas, especially defensively, which showed in many games. But we've got a trophy. This is a great foundation to build on my little projects, and I'm well excited for this. Well, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 1 of Project 23 with Borussia Dortmund. I really hope you did, because I really want to make more. I'm probably going to anyway. So thank you for watching. Thank you for any thumbs up and comments and any new subscribers that have come to my channel through this series. I appreciate all of you. Now, I'm going to hopefully remember to put a link to a download of the shortlist of the players I signed this summer. If you see anyone you look quite like I said earlier, I signed up for that amount. You should be able to sign up for that amount. So use it if you want. feel free, check it out. But yeah, thank you for taking the time. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, like I'm filming this way in advance of it coming out, like days and days before it's coming out. I know it's going to be coming out after Christmas, so I hope you had a great Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year. I hope you're happy. I hope you're safe. I seriously do. Stay strong, man. Love you long time. I'm Bood. Bye-bye.